Imagine opening your home to a friend you've trusted for nearly 30 years. Only to realize within days that they don't respect you, your kids, or even the most basic boundaries. What do you do when someone you've called family suddenly becomes a threat inside your own home? I found out the hard way. If you've ever had someone disrespect you or take advantage of your kindness, you're going to relate to this story. So lean in, because by the end, you'll see exactly how I reclaimed my peace, and why I'll never let someone like that near my family again. I've known Dawn since the mid-90s. Back then we were inseparable. College parties, late-night drives, inside jokes that only old friends can share. Over the years we drifted a bit, but every time we reconnected it felt like no time had passed. So when he told me he and his wife Clara would be visiting my city and asked if they could stay at my house for a few days, I didn't hesitate. Why would I? I trusted him. My kids, 6 and 3, loved them. I pictured cozy dinners, laughter echoing through the house, and maybe even some late-night reminiscing. But almost immediately something felt off. From the very first night, Dawn made comments that sent chills down my spine. He laughed as he told me he thought he'd be sleeping in my bed. He said it right in front of my kids, grinning like it was some clever joke. I shut it down, firmly. But instead of apologizing, he brushed it off. Like my discomfort, like my children's innocence, was just the punchline to his humor. Inside I felt my stomach twist. My jaw clenched, but I told myself, he's my old friend. Maybe he's just joking badly. I wanted to believe that. The next few days were unsettling. Clara was kind but distant, almost as if she was used to Dawn's behavior. She tried smoothing things over with small talk, but he kept pushing boundaries. One day Clara went out with another friend, Alex. I didn't know him, never even heard of him before. He just slept the entire day away while I worked remotely, juggling conference calls and the chaos of raising 2 young kids. When he finally woke up, his first words weren't "thank you for hosting" or "sorry for being a lump all day." They were, "Hey, do you mind if Alex spends the night here too?" I froze. Alex? A man I'd never met, never vetted, around my 6-year-old and 3-year-old? My house, my sanctuary where my kids should feel safest. I didn't even think. My answer was immediate: absolutely not. But instead of respecting that, Dawn started pushing. He's not a creep, he insisted. He just needs a break from his crowded home. He's harmless. Clara chimed in too, her voice pleading. Every word made my chest tighter, my pulse faster. They didn't understand, or maybe they didn't care, that my job as a parent was to protect my kids first, no matter what. I said no again. Firmer. That's when Dawn leaned back, smirking. Come on, you know me. I'd never bring anyone dangerous around your kids. My hands curled into fists under the table. My voice was steady, but my thoughts were screaming. How dare you? How dare you put me in this position? How dare you undermine my boundaries in my own home? And in that moment something inside me snapped. I wasn't just annoyed anymore. I was done. This was no longer the friend I remembered. This was someone who thought my hospitality was an open invitation to disrespect me, to gamble with my children's safety. And the worst part? He expected me to cave. I knew then, I wasn't going to let them stay another night. I was already planning how to tell them their visit was over when Dawn suddenly shifted gears. He stood up, stretched, and said casually, "You know what? We'll just get a hotel." Clara nodded quickly, avoiding my eyes. They packed up that evening and left. No thank yous. No apologies. Just gone. Me. I felt the sweetest wave of relief wash over me. Here's the thing. Revenge isn't always about yelling, fighting, or grand acts of vengeance. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is silence. Sometimes it's realizing that cutting someone out of your life completely, removing their access to your kindness, your home, your family, is the most powerful statement you can make. So that's exactly what I did. I blocked Dawn's number. I blocked Clara's too. I didn't care how many years of friendship we had. Respect is the foundation of any relationship, and once that's gone, the whole thing crumbles. 4 days afterward, my house felt lighter. My kids were back to their routines, their laughter no longer interrupted by Dawn's crude jokes. I felt free. Free from the guilt of holding on to a friendship that no longer existed. Free from the constant tension of someone pushing my boundaries. Free from a man who thought my kindness was weakness. And that freedom, that was my revenge. Because here's the truth. People like Dawn thrive on access. They thrive on pushing, testing, and seeing what they can get away with. When you cut them off, you take away their power. And nothing stings more than being denied the control they thought they had. Don expected me to fold. He expected me to be the same friend I was 20 years ago, the one who laughed at his bad jokes and let things slide. But he underestimated one thing. I'm not just his old buddy anymore. I'm a parent. A protector. And there is nothing more dangerous than a parent whose boundaries have been crossed. So while Don thought he was just walking into a hotel, he was actually walking out of my life. For good. And that's a punishment no hotel room can soften. Sometimes revenge isn't about fire and fury. Sometimes it's about peace. The peace you reclaim when you remove toxic people from your life. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Old friends may share your past, but they don't always deserve a place in your future. If this story gave you chills, or reminded you of a time you had to cut someone off, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. Have you ever had to walk away from a toxic friendship? And don't forget to subscribe because I've got more stories where justice and revenge are always served cold.